Breaking news, players from the NBA have decided to resume the playoffs. A source has told Adrian Wojnarowski, but there will be no games tonight. The league announced that all 3 of today's games have been postponed in the wake of the 3 postponed games yesterday, as players are protesting by not playing after Jacob Blake was shot 7 times by Kenosha police in Wisconsin on Sunday. The NBA hopes to schedule games for tomorrow or Saturday. LeBron James tweeting this out earlier today. Change doesn't happen with just talk. It happens with action and needs to happen now. For my I Promise school kids in communities across the country, it's on us to make a difference. Together, that's why your vote is more than a vote. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Stephen A. Smith joining us now on SportsCenter. Stephen A., after what we saw yesterday and hearing about meetings late last night and early this morning with the players, what was your reaction to the NBA players deciding to continue the playoffs?
I wasn't surprised. I applaud them for the position that they took. Obviously, the Milwaukee Bucks had every intention of just forfeiting their game against the Orlando Magic. That's probably why they didn't get anybody involved and made a unilateral decision. But nevertheless, the other team stepped up. The other 5 teams stepped up that were scheduled to play yesterday. Obviously, additional teams that were scheduled to play tonight all stepped up. And it was important that they came together to bring attention to yet the latest tragedy that has taken place with an unarmed black man at the hands of a law enforcement official. Having said all of that, the NBA players came to the bubble to begin with because they recognized they had a collective bargaining agreement. They recognized there were billions of dollars at stake in the event that they didn't come. And even after they came, and once they completed the 8 regular season games that satisfied their regional partners, there was still a television contract to honor here. If you look at the NBA Finals, for example, if there were no NBA Finals, you're talking about close to $1 billion that could be lost on top of at least $1 billion that has already been lost. A new collective bargaining agreement would have been reopened. As a result, forthcoming negotiations would be in vogue, and it would call for the players to lose additional funds as well. Not to say that's not going to happen anyway, but certainly it would have been more severe had they elected not to continue to play this postseason. They recognize that. They're not dummies. They are businessmen, not just athletes, and they recognize that they needed to do exactly what they elected to do, which was come back and finish these playoffs, which have been riveting, by the way.
Stephen A., what are you hearing about how unified the players are right now?
Well, I think that you hear a lot of division only from the standpoint of specifically what to do. You did have the Lakers and the Clippers that were looking to sit out, led by LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, Kawhi Leonard and the Los Angeles Clippers. Those are the 2 prohibitive favorites. They're in the 2nd largest market in the United States of America. So had they elected not to play, it would have been incredibly problematic. I think it would have delegitimized a potential NBA champion if they had neglected to participate. But also, based on what you heard about the meeting last night, they went in there, a lot of voices were raised, a lot of guys were yelling, a lot of guys had different opinions and things of that nature. But in the end, the vast majority, and matter of fact, 28 of the 30 teams wanted to continue playing. The 2 teams in L.A. did not. They were outnumbered, even though one could easily surmise that LeBron James ain't outnumbered by anybody in the NBA. But clearly he's elected to play, so everybody's intending on moving forward.
What do you expect to see now moving forward from the players when they have the chance to talk to the media? And I go back to what Doc Rivers said 2 nights ago, the powerful statements, and what he said had such a big impact. It went viral. You don't have that outside the bubble. What do you expect from these players as well as coaches and the referees standing together and unified inside this bubble moving on?
Well, believe it or not, I think Doc Rivers has tremendously helped their cause, not just because of the powerful message that he delivered, but also, as you pointed out, how it has resonated. I had one league executive tell me last night, like 2 or 3 in the morning, if Doc Rivers was outside the bubble and had given the same speech, how much would that have resonated? We all know the answer to that question. It wouldn't have measured up to how it's rated thus far and how it's been viewed thus far. What's the reason? He's a basketball coach that's presently active right now inside that bubble, taking the stance that he took. So it really augments the NBA's position that being inside that bubble, being assisted by the NBA and supported by the NBA, having that platform to disseminate a message to the masses is far more profound than being outside of the bubble, not playing and operating as an individual entity. It's not going to resonate as powerfully as it did inside the bubble. So players see that. They recognize they're even more popular, at least some of them, that is, than Doc Rivers. So if Doc Rivers could resonate in such a profound fashion, what could they end up doing? I think you're going to see guys imagining those possibilities. I think you're going to see those possibilities explored, and you're going to see a lot of messages being disseminated to the masses from the bubble in the days and weeks to come. I don't think there's any question about that.
Aside from LeBron, no platform is bigger than the bubble right now at this moment. Stephen A. Smith, appreciate your words.
No doubt. Thank you.